So if you're using cash and debit for everyday expenses, you're definitely doing it wrong. I'm going to show you how I use credit cards, cashback, and credit card points to lower my expense of my travels. That's my everyday expenses, hotels, flights, and more. This video was inspired from one of my followers, Tracy. He asked a great question. This is what he said right here. And basically what he said is which credit cards is best for traveling. And I appreciate him answering that question because it gave me the inspiration to make this video. And the truth is, it's not about which is the best credit cards. It's about what cards you are using. So we're going to go into that in this video right now. And if you haven't seen my video on how to travel the world without spending much, check it up right here. You can click that link and see that video. I highly recommend you to see that video before watching this one. So let's go ahead and get into it. One of the keys into budget travel is the first thing you need to work on is the mindset shift. You're already spending money on food, bills, gas, everyday expenses with debit card and credit card. So what you want to do is shift that to use your credit cards to purchase those type of things to where you can get rewarded on points and cash back for you to use in the future against your travel plans. I'm not saying you have to use your credit card every day on just simple items or even daily. But if you have travel plans in the future, you want to make that a habit to use to build up and rack up those points for you to use them. So what this does is turn your normal spending into discounted or free travel. You don't have to be rich or even fly in business class, but this traveling hacks is all about strategy. So let's start small before you go out there and apply for those big mega travel credit cards. You got to learn to start with the basics first. So let's start with the basics first. It makes no sense to go out there and apply for these big credit cards with a lot of perks and benefits. Let's start with the basics and let's go slowly and learn how to drive that stick shift Mustang before we graduate to that Lamborghini. All right, let's start with cashback. So cashbacks is simple and it's flexible. So this is basic, it's simple and flexible, and it works well for the domestic flight trips, hotels, Uber, and food, and pretty much you get a 2% cash back on everything, which equals in the long run discounted travel or even free travel or even free meals on everything. So here's a summary of points and miles. This is how they work. So let me explain first what that is best for. What that is best for is the long flights, international travel, and long haul trips. The reason why points stretch further than cash is because think about it. Just think about like if you go to a restaurant like McAllister's, for example, or even McDonald's. When you build up points for buying purchases, you can use those points to apply for your next meal, like get an item for free. You know, you may be able to get like a Big Mac or fries cheaper or discounted price. It's the same thing with credit card points and miles. So you may be able to go ahead and upgrade from that economy seat all the way up to business class. It just depends on the points that you have and the miles that you have that are redeemable. So that is why having points and miles can really help you on your travel because you're able to just use them more than what you would have to do with cash. So having either one of these, a cashback credit card or a credit card that helps you build miles or points, is a whole lot better than spending just your regular debit card or cash. For example, when I was in Vietnam, I was at this hotel and I wanted to upgrade my room into this suite. And it was an upcharge, but I didn't have to pay anything. I just used my points. I just redeemed it right there for my credit card, and I was able to have a suite overlooking the balcony, overlooking the city. It was amazing. So I was able to do that by using my credit card by buying things that I already bought anyway instead of using cash. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to see here. So if you have any travel plans in the future, or if you know, make sure you use these type of strategies to lower the cost of your travels. All you're doing is just shifting your mindset and building up strategy. You're just paying for the things that you already pay for. Food, gas. You need gas to go to work today or wherever you're going to the store. You're buying some Gatorade. Use your credit card to get those 2 points. Just use those credit cards on the things you're already doing. That's gas, that's groceries, that's bills, cell phone bill, food, Chipotle. Use those credit cards on those type of things to earn cash back in turn, which you can use on your flights or in your vacations or your hotels or anything like that. I know you watch Netflix. If you got Netflix, use that credit card to pay that Netflix subscription, which in turn is earning you points or cash back. These expenses already exist. You don't have to go out there to create more expenses for yourself to get yourself some points or cash back on these credit cards. And I didn't change my lifestyle. I just changed how I paid everything. So this strategy is basic and it's honest and it's very simple for anybody to follow. But you gotta be responsible. You gotta be responsible for your expenses and responsible for your balances on your credit cards. This works best for travelers who are already planning trips anyways. Now, I'm not saying this is for people who want to overspend just for points alone, or for anyone who is already carrying a large amount of debt. This is not for you. What you're gonna do is get yourself in a bigger hole and you're gonna stress out over it. So how points actually lower the cost of your traveling ticket? So for example, if your flight ticket costs $500 and you have a miles or points which can be redeemable for $250, then you just save yourself half of the cost. And you didn't do anything special. All you did was just use your credit cards for the things that you were buying every day anyway. So this is the type of strategy that I have been using for years, which allowed me to travel a lot more frequently than your normal average person. This video was inspired by one of my subscribers, Tracy, who asked me a great question. And basically what he said right here was, which travel credit card is best for travel? So in summary, like I said, it's not about which travel credit card is the best for traveling. I really think it is the strategy you are using. Start with the basics. Learn how to use 2% cashback or 1%, 5% cashback cards, or learn how to use miles or points redeemable credit cards before applying to these big credit cards that have a lot of benefits or a lot of information you just not know how to use yet. And if you don't have a credit card, you can start with this credit card right here. I'm gonna let it wait till it zoom in. And as you can see, it is worn over the years that I have used it. It is a credit card, Capital One Venture One. And I use that a lot and rack up tons of points and redeemable rewards for it that in turn cut my costs, my spendings on, hotels. Sometimes I get free rental cars. So upgrading my seats, I can reduce the price of my booking tickets for my air flights. So if you're interested, what you can do in turn is use the link down below in this video. And in turn, they're going to reward you with $80 bonus on just signing up and getting approved. And if you get approved, they will reward you with $80 bonus on just signing up. Trust me, you're going to thank me later on that. And I use that ton, and this has allowed me in turn to travel more often than the average person. I'm not rich. I just know how to use strategy when spending money and get rewarded for it. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. Hit the like and subscribe. This is just a quick video to share some travel tips and hacks to you guys. This is Real Travel Speaks. Hit that like button, subscribe for more travel adventures and more travel tips. All right, peace.